Hello, everybody. I'm Will Kennedy, and this is Argo Sports Insider. Each week, right here on this program, we shine the light on everything going on inside athletics at the University of West Florida. Happy New Year to you. This is our first show of 2023, and we're going to start things off on the basketball court. Both the men's and women's teams here at UWF are in mid-season in the Gulf South Conference, and both squads are looking to work their way up the conference standings. Women's basketball's gone 6-1 since our last program, starting with a big win at home over Union. The Argos also picked up home wins over Christian Brothers, West Alabama, and Alabama Huntsville. Coach Stephanie Lawrence Yelton and company also swept a road trip to Montevallo and Auburn Montgomery. The Argos are now 9-5 overall, but 9-3 in GSC play.
It's been a good time for women's basketball after Christmas break. We're on a 4-game win streak. I think our players came off a break, super excited to kind of get back into the swing of basketball. Although we've won, it's been tough. We've had a couple of road games. We had some really physical home games. And now we're starting that second stretch of playing everybody in the conference another time, which we haven't done in multiple years. And so this will be interesting, this little stretch coming up of going back to playing teams that we've played earlier and just seeing how much we've improved in this next round. You know, we are super proud of Zoe Pillar and Jacqueline Jarnett, you know, how they're playing and what they bring to the table each night. You know, when they're not scoring points, they're rebounding. When they're not rebounding, they're playing great defense. They're doing really good things on the court when they're on the court. And so those two players are really, you know, our foundation, our stones that we're building upon. I think they give the rest of the team a sense of, you know, settlement. When they're playing well and they're doing well, the rest of the team has confidence that the team is going to do well. And so sometimes that can be pressure, you know, a lot of pressure for a player to know that they've got to carry that team in that way. But I think Zoe and Jack have done a great job of doing that for our team this year. When you get into January and, of course, into the month of February, basketball can be a little bit of a grind. And so for us, moving into this second round of conference play and getting to play the same opponents a second time, is going to be a challenge. Teams make adjustments. You've got enough games under your belt where game planning really strategy becomes a big part of what you're doing in games. But we're excited to kind of, you know, see what that leads for this team. I told our team back in November that I thought we had a very large opportunity for growth because we do have 9 new players on our roster. And although they've been at different places, many of them haven't really had the game experience coming in here in November. Well, now they're seasoned, and a lot of them have had some great game experience. And so I think right now we're seeing our team kind of blossom a little bit. We're seeing some players really play the way that I thought they could play when we recruited them. And so that's exciting when you're looking at going into that second round of play in the GSC. But, you know, we start this second round with the top team in the league, with Lee University, who's ranked nationally in the top 25. They're the #1 team in our conference. They're undefeated in conference right now. And so, but it's a team that we went into overtime, and it took them extra minutes to beat us here on our home floor. So I think we can compete. I think we can compete well. And then we'll just kind of see how the game plays out.
The women hit the road this week for a huge game at Lee up in Tennessee on Thursday, and then it is a Saturday showdown in Rome, Georgia against Shorter. Zoe Pillar is your GSC reigning player of the week after her big performances against West Alabama and Alabama Huntsville. And some of our production students here in the communication department had a chance to sit down with both Zoe and former Conference Player of the Week, Conference Player of the Year, National Player of the Week, Jacqueline Jarnett, to talk about their teamwork on the court, how they get along off the court, and what's ahead for UWF women's basketball.
I'm Jacqueline Jarnett. I'm from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. I'm a grad senior. My major is communications, and I'm a 4.
My name is Zoe Pillar. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a sophomore, and I am majoring in exercise science, and I'm a center.
I would say just the connection we've built over this past year. I think we've really come to grow a lot in our game together, and like I drop dimes her all the time. She knows like if I'm gonna throw it or not, and she finishes every time, so I love playing with Zoe.
I love playing with Jack because she's always level-headed out there, and it's just really nice to have that type of person on the court where if things aren't going right, you can always look for Jack, and she'll always be cool-headed. And she's clutch. She's very clutch, and you know, and also if my shots aren't falling, she'll always be in my ear and be like, hey, next time you got it, and then, you know, vice versa. If she's having a hard time, I could be right there and be like, Jack, you can knock down those shots. So it's great just having that type of teammate right there.
First one, I would say Wild. We have some pretty crazy girls on the team, and when they let their personalities out, it gets crazy.
We're dedicated. If you ever walk through the field house, you'll see one of us getting shots up, or two of us on on the shooting machine or something, working on free throws. So we're very dedicated to the game.
And then third one, I'd say spontaneous. We're very go with the flow type of team. We'll like make TikToks randomly and just dance parties and karaoke and stuff like that. So we're a very fun team. We like to do stuff like that. I would say just the potential that we have. We have a lot of new players, but I think we've kind of found our common ground with each other. It started off a little rough, but I think we're finally finding our footing. We had a really good win against Delta State, and now going into these two games, I think we have a lot to prove and a lot to show everyone. Go Argos!
Change doesn't happen by luck or chance.
It doesn't quit, it doesn't give up.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people. Who will you connect with? What will you change?
What will change you?
The University of West Florida. No limits.
Can health insurance help cure loneliness? Can it take care of your best friend too? Or hold your hand for 9 months? Can it be there for you at 3 a.m.? Or inspire you to go the extra mile? We think so, which is why every day we ask ourselves, what else can health insurance do? Come find out.
What does Argo Spirit look like? Is it finding the perfect Argo outfit to show your team pride? Is it giving back while getting your pre-game grub? Or is it connecting with your community in the perfect spot? At Penn Air Federal Credit Union, it's being a proud sponsor of UWF Education, the Alumni Association, athletics, Penn Air Field, and having a spirit of communerosity. Learn more at pennair.org/aboutus.
What do you expect from that first job out of college? Working your way up from the bottom? Instead, how does this sound? Starting in a guaranteed leadership position with people who look to you for guidance because you're trained to give it and make important decisions in critical situations. Skip entry level. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. One for you, one for him, and one for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Groundbreaking orthopedic care is more than top-rated quality scores, more than leading-edge treatment options, more than world-class care close to home. It's all that and more. Andrews Institute. Groundbreaking care.
The UWF men's basketball team is looking for a spark to ignite a run up the GSC standings. The Argos went 3-5 over the break, picking up 3 straight wins over Christian Brothers, Georgia College, and Valdosta. Coach Jeff Burkhammer's squad is now 7-9 on the season and 3-9 in conference play. The Argos will hit the road this week for games at Lee and Shorter on Thursday and Saturday before returning to the Fieldhouse for 3 straight. That's a look at UWF basketball. Swimming and diving was also in action over the break. The nationally ranked Argos swam in 3 events, winning 2 and placing second in the other. UWF capped off the run with a dominant performance at home, topping Birmingham Southern, Texas Permian Basin, and Montevallo on Senior Day, January 7th. Seniors Caitlin Baylett, Anna Jaworski, Stephanie Marquardt, Catherine Mipro, and Brooke Simila each won at least one event. Argo divers dominated their events on both of the boards, with Michelle Mejia winning on both boards and qualifying for nationals on the 1 meter. The 6th-ranked Argos are back in action January 20th and the 21st in Atlanta with meets at Georgia Tech and Emory. And UWF football wrapped up the 2022 season in the Division II national semifinals, taking a tie game to the half at Ferris State before falling to the eventual national champs. The Argos finished the season 12-2 with both Gulf South Conference and Super Region titles. UWF will have a new look at the top in 2023. Former quarterback and assistant coach Caleb Nobles returns to Pensacola as the new UWF head coach, replacing Pete Shinnick at the helm. Nobles retains some familiar faces on the staff in Steve Saunier and Ron Dickerson Jr. The Argos will also bring back some names fans will know in Joe Wintrick and Jordan Remza, and former NFL player Cavell Connor comes in as the new defensive coordinator. How big a deal is it to be somewhere that you have some familiarity with, that you spend a little time with, you know what the culture is that exists for your first head coaching job?
It was huge for me. I told my wife this weekend I don't know that I would have wanted to get a head job somewhere where I didn't have a familiarity with the administration, who have done such a great job in building champions for life. That's what we want to do wherever we're at. So it's very important for me to be somewhere that I've played at, I've coached at, somewhere we have a good repertoire of people that are at our guidance to help us as well.
Players want to play places where it's fun. It's fun to play, and there's a good vibe, but also, in this day and age, it's about offense. It's about putting points on the board, and especially in this conference, and you've got a good grip on that.
For sure. We've had some really good players that have helped us be very successful in the past. I know we got a lot of really good players on the roster that are going to do the same thing for us in 2023 and in the future, and then we're going to do some great recruiting locally. And as far as the whole state of Florida, we're going to get some guys in here that will help us be successful on the field as well.
Talk about your staff a little bit, bringing in some new guys and some familiar faces and keeping some key units as well.
Yeah, for sure. We've been able to keep Steve Saunier as our assistant head coach and O-line coach, able to keep Ron Dickerson. He'll be promoted to offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach. And then have hired Cavell Connor to be our defensive coordinator. He's coming from Clemson with me. He's got some NFL experience played at Clemson University as well. And then Jordan Remza is going to be our secondary coordinator and our special teams coordinator. He's familiar. He was part of our 2019 national championship run. And then bringing a player back from that team that's worked with us as well. His name is Joe Wintrick. Everybody remembers Joe with the long hair. So he's cleaned up a little bit now, and he knows what he's doing as far as football-wise off the field as well.
For you, I know there's pressure, obviously, but you enjoy that. You're a player, you've been there, you've been around it all your life. Is that kind of what drives you? Is that you want to succeed and you want to make sure that what's been started here continues?
Of course. No, I like the pressure. If I was at a job where there was no pressure, it's probably not a great job. So I like that we've been successful here. As part of what I wanted to do is go somewhere where I know there's going to be pressure on us to win. Because I know we can do it, and we'll be successful by doing things the right way on and off the field.
Spring football practice is right around the corner. In fact, the spring game for Coach Nobles is set for March 9th at Penn Air Field. We've also got baseball, softball, tennis, and golf starting up soon, so spring sports will be here before you know it. That'll do it for this episode of Argo Sports Insider. As always, you can get the latest news, notes, and information just about anything to do with UWF athletics through our website at goargos.com. We encourage you to follow all of our programs on their various social media platforms, and the Argo Armada app right there on your phone or tablet will link you to all the latest news and notes on UWF athletics as well. We'll see you next time on Argo Sports Insider, and as always, go Argos.